What is up, Guided fam? We're at this beautiful park in Colorado, and I want to go through full body strengthening. Really, we're just going to be activating a lot of our body here, making us feel really good, right? That's the point of all of it to me. So first thing that I want you to do is start in a little bit of a horse stance. So horse stance is just kind of double my shoulder width. So I go in this wide stance, my feet are pretty straight. They can be turned out slightly. And from here, what we're gonna do is just some really easy squats, up and down. So we don't have to get super deep here, right? We're just kind of going down till we feel like we're at a point where, you know, you're getting a little bit of a stretch in the hips, you're feeling those glutes, and then we come back up. We'll do about 10 of these. And as you go down, see if you can actually even spread the knees a bit. This is a really good stretch for those adductor muscles and really good for the glute, the outside of the hips to turn on and work nicely. Let's say one more. You guys know I'm not the best at counting here. Okay, cool. Relax. Very good for the hips, and a nice little just warm up, getting those hips lubricated and activated. So now I'm gonna go arms out to the side like so, okay? So I'm gonna show you from the side angle. What I want you to do is we're gonna rotate between internally rotating the shoulder, and then we're going to externally rotate, so watch my hand twist, and we're gonna try to lengthen through the shoulder as well. So what that means is I'm pushing away with my shoulder blade. You're gonna feel a good stretch in the front of the shoulder, and you'll feel kind of these like rib cage muscles turning on to do that, okay? So let's do 10 of them. We're gonna rotate, and then we open and push. You can almost think of it like a scooping motion of your shoulder blades to open, rotate, and then push outwards. Then we get that good internal rotation. Keeping the rib cage nice and flush here, not overextending the lower back. If you have trouble with that at all, squeeze your butt too, and keep your neck in a good position, tucking the chin. This is so good for the shoulders. Simple, just going through simple rotation, range of motion, but something that we don't really do a lot of in our day if we're not prioritizing this. We'll do 2 more. Scoop, palms up, and last one. Okay, ooh, shake that out. It's actually really tiring on the shoulders, those shoulder blade muscles and whatnot. But you'll start to feel more open after doing that. So next, we're going to go down to our knees here, and we're gonna do something that I showed in the latest YouTube video, which is the toe stance here. So we're lifting the heels, we're driving into the toes, and we're just gonna hold this position, right? And this position can be more challenging than it looks because we're not always balancing on the ball of the foot and the toes. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna squeeze my quads here. I'm kind of squeezing my hamstrings. I'm activating my calf. All those ankle stabilizer muscles are kicking on. This is really good for the foot up into the knee and even the hip, right? So here, I'm holding, and I'm gonna relax, boom. And then I'm gonna go straight into some knee circles here. so that the knee circles start really small. Just kind of feel as your knee go through these circles, what happens at the ankle. We shift weight to the side, to the toe, to the other side, back to the heel. This is really, really nice for foot and ankle health, and in turn, we get a lot of knee love as well here, okay? So you can start to make bigger circles if that feels okay for you. And now we're gonna switch and go the other way. So we're here, starting nice, small circles here. A lot of what keeping joints healthy is just getting them appropriate blood flow and getting different stimulus to the joint. So we're not always just doing the same thing, but we're accessing all of the range of motion that we actually have. That's essentially what keeps your joints healthy over time. So we'll go 2 more. You can make these circles a bit bigger. Okay, great. So from here, we're gonna come down, we're gonna touch the floor. Always good to get those hands down on the floor, right? Something that we don't do enough of. So hands and knees, we're just gonna do a few finger push-ups to get those wrists warmed up, get those fingers warmed up. This is really, really good for the wrists. Also for the shoulders and the elbows as well. Sometimes if you have a little elbow pain going on, it's really could be stemming from the wrist or the shoulder. Okay, good. Now from here, we're going to press our knees up and the hips up, and then we're gonna hold in this pike hold. And I want you to see if you can shift onto your tippy toes and put more of the weight of your body over your hands here. So the hips get closer to over the hands. This gets a lot more challenging. I gotta really push the ground away. And relax. Awesome. Let's go ahead and stand up, shake that out. Now to balance out our pushing through the shoulder there, we're going to come here into a nice bent over position. We're gonna pull the shoulders back, right? And then we're gonna lift the arms behind us. And I want you to feel the back of the shoulder and in between the shoulder blades working here. We're gonna hold this. Let's come down, release the shoulders, shake it out for a second. We'll do the same thing. We pull back. My palms are facing forward to make sure my shoulders are rotated externally, which is just a fancy word for outside rotation. Let's come down, let's relax, let's shake it out again. You should feel those muscles behind the shoulder. We're gonna do one more time, pull back. See if you can push your range of motion a little bit more this time. Get those hands a little bit higher in the air. Breathe and relax. Very, very good for the shoulders there. Just let's take a little bit of a shakeout period here. Let this plane pass overhead. So now what we're gonna do, come back to this bent over position. Now, instead of going like we were going more straight back there, we're not gonna go out to the side, we're gonna go about 45-degree angle here, staying in this bent over position. So we pull the shoulder back, we come out like so. We're gonna do little circles. So I'm doing my circles backwards. I'm keeping my thumb up. Once again, getting that external rotation. This is really helping us open the chest, strengthening the back of the shoulder, those muscles that don't get as much love when we're sitting down all day. We're just circling lightly and relax. Woo. Okay, cool. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna do a quick little leg combo, okay? So I'm going to start here with a, actually I'm gonna start in a kneeling position, like so. So start down on the ground, kneeling here. What I want you to do is I want you to squeeze the glute, squeeze this quad, and float yourself up off the ground until we're in a standing stagger stance like this. I then want you to really control the way back down, squeezing, and then set that knee down. We'll take a rest for a few seconds. We'll do that again. Squeeze. The more you squeeze, the more that should feel easier floating yourself up. And then control, control, control. Really slow lower. Boom. You're gonna be feeling all of the leg muscles working, the butt muscles, the quads. You should also feel like you're getting a bit of a stretch on this back hip. Let's go again, squeeze. We come up. And then we're gonna lower, lower, slow, slow, slow. Touchdown and relax. Whew, just 3 reps, man. That's all you really need. When you take things really slow like that, really going like at a slow pace on the negative portion, the lowering portion, it does wonders for strengthening, right? Anytime we're lowering, you're getting more, you're tearing more muscle fibers, right? We're getting more fatigue to the muscles. So let's do this other side now. So we're here. I'm gonna squeeze, come up, yes. And then lower, nice and slow, really squeezing as I lower. Boom, relax. Let's come up. Lower, nice and slow. Yes. One more. Up. We're gonna lower, nice and slow, and relax. Okay. Feeling nice here, feeling really nice. So, to balance out some of the more squatting, quad dominant type movements, we want to work that posterior chain. And one of my favorite ways to do this when we're not at the gym using weights or anything is to use a table. You can also do this on your bed. You could do it on a park bench, anything that's off the ground a little bit. I could do it on this, but I'm gonna do it on here because it's a little bit easier and higher up. So all I'm gonna do is just lay my torso down like so. I'm gonna grab onto this to give me some stability here. And then, so this is right in my hip crease basically. Now from here, this is called a natural glute ham raise. So we're using the glutes and the hamstrings to lift up and extend our hip, and then we come back down, okay? That's all it is, nice and easy. Just go as high as you can, feeling comfortable. And what we want to stay away from is using that lower back to get our legs up. So we want to tense up that core and we want to really squeeze through those glute muscles, okay? So we're gonna do 8 of them. So we go up, boom, and back down. Feel the squeeze of the glutes. Come back down, relax. Go again, squeezing the glutes. As you can see, I'm kind of pausing for a second or two at that top because that's when we really activate everything. Get this good hip extension. Good. Let's go one more. I think is a little bit more. We're gonna hold for 10 seconds, okay? So I'm gonna lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, relax. Come on up. So, one way that you can know that you're doing the right thing there is if the glutes are feeling good and tired. If you're feeling it a bit in your lower back, then what I suggest doing is just not going quite as high. We can kind of start here, right? And finding where you can really feel the glutes, not cranking into the low back. Okay, great. I'm gonna come back over here. We're gonna go back to our horse stance. And this time, instead of doing squats, we're just going to come back and hold in this position. So I just want you to go to a level where you're challenged, you feel like you're working your legs a little bit, but not like, I can't hold this for longer than 5 seconds, okay? We're just gonna hang out here. I want you to breathe. Horse stance is one of the best ways to strengthen your legs and to give them good endurance, right? Which is really, really important when we're talking about longevity of the hips, the legs, the lower body, all the whole body. Okay, go ahead and relax. Legs are starting to shake there a little bit. We're now going to just come down here. We're gonna put the knees down now. If this feels uncomfortable at all, place a pillow right here, between here, so you don't have to compress the knees quite as much. But if you can, we're just gonna hang out in this position. And then what I want you to do after we spend a few more seconds here is now we're going to come down, we're gonna reach the arms forward. We're gonna stretch the back a little bit. So I like to keep my fingertips in that. I can drop my chin down. Those lat muscles. Okay, now we're gonna come forward and we're just gonna hang out here for 5 seconds. Feel a good stretch on the front side of your body. You can squeeze your butt a little bit. Okay. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna just hang out in the squat position here. If you have any trouble with this, place something under your heels to elevate, maybe some bucks or some shoes, and just try to relax as much as you can. If this is uncomfortable, this was very uncomfortable for me when I started doing this stuff about 10 years ago because I had become so stiff from playing sports and sitting a lot. But over time, your body will adapt to this position. It's a position that we should all be able to kind of hang out in, relax, not cause any discomfort. But it just takes exposure. You have to make sure that you're doing this daily, spending some time down here, right? It's one of the best things you can do for your back, for your knees, for your ankles. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you feel good. We ran through a little bit of strength and mobility, all the joints, and come back and do this whenever you need a little pick-me-up and a little time strengthening. Thanks for being here with me. I'll see you in the next one.